Hey, I'm going to share with you what I saw as a doctor that made me walk away. Now, most high achieving men and women think that their internal chaos means they're failing. As an ex medical doctor, I want to tell you something that might irritate you at first and then feel like relief. You're not broken, you're adapted. And a lot of what you've been taught about what your body, your mind, and your so called symptoms that keeps you busy, dependent, and quietly blaming yourself. If you're new here to the channel, I'm Dr. Jen. I used to work inside the medical system. Now I work with freedom-driven high achievers who look successful on the outside and feel completely unsettled on the inside. This is not medical advice. It's something way more confronting than that. It's truth and agency. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you could be doing everything right and still not feel okay, why willpower keeps failing you, and what actually helps you reclaim calm, clarity, and your sense of purpose. Now, here's the reframe that changes everything. Your problem isn't what happened to you. Your problem is what had to happen inside you to survive your experience. Now, that experience might be your childhood. It might be the pace that you've been living at for decades. It might be learning very early that being useful, capable, or impressive was safer than being honest or needing support. The system tends to call what follows anxiety, burnout, insomnia, autoimmune flares, stress, or even non-compliance. I'm going to say it plainly. This is your body refusing to keep living a life that cost you yourself. I was a successful doctor. I did what I was trained to do. I followed the protocols. I worked hard. I genuinely wanted to help people. And I started noticing something I couldn't unsee. We were treating men and women like machines. We focused on numbers, labels, symptom management, compliance, and yet the same patterns kept walking through that door. High performers whose bodies suddenly collapsed, women who couldn't rest without immense guilt, men who had everything but felt nothing, people who kept failing treatments because their lives were the real trigger. The clearer it became to me, the harder it was to ignore. A system that is built for throughput will never be built for wholeness. Now, that doesn't make it evil. It makes it limited by design. And when I realized I could no longer participate in calling normal human responses personal defects, I stepped away. Not because I lost faith, but because I chose integrity. Here's something important to comprehend. We live in a culture that rewards productivity over presence, coping over healing, performance over truth, and management over real root causes and meanings. Medicine often mirrors that culture. If a plant keeps wilting, you don't shame the plant and tell it to try harder. You look at the soil, the light, the water, the toxins. But with people, we suppress the signal and send you back into the same conditions. And then we wonder why you're still struggling. So listen carefully. If you feel like you're drowning while you're doing everything right, your nervous system is not failing you, it's giving you a warning. I want to give you two definitions that will change how you see yourself. The first is the difference between default and fault. Default means you learned patterns that helped you survive, belong, achieve, or stay safe. Fault implies something is wrong with you. If you're living on default, you can change it. If you believe it's your fault, shame keeps you stuck. The second reframe is this. Many symptoms are actually strategies. Anxiety is often a threat scanning strategy. Perfectionism is often an avoidance of rejection. Overworking is an attempt to earn safety. People pleasing is often conflict prevention. Shutting down is often self-protection. Now, the medical system tries to eliminate these. I listen to them. Here's another place that high achievers get trapped. They're taught that trauma only counts if it's dramatic, big T. So they minimize. Nothing that bad ever happened. I should be over this. I'm just too sensitive. That voice isn't strength. That voice is conditioning. Now, sometimes it wasn't one catastrophic event. Sometimes it was years of being praised for performance and ignored for feeling. Years of being the capable one. Years of learning that calm only arrived when you didn't need much. Now, that creates a nervous system that just can't relax, even when life looks fine on paper. So, what do you do with this without turning it into blame or victimhood? There are 3 steps. The first is to stop arguing with your suffering. High achievers are professional self-invalidators. You call it discipline. Your body experiences it as abandonment. Naming, I'm not okay, isn't weakness, it's data. The second is to replace self-attack with compassionate curiosity. Not what's wrong with me, but what happened for me in my life that made this all make sense? That question alone begins to regulate your nervous system. Shame tightens, curiosity opens. The third is to ask for the right kind of help, not help that makes you dependent, not help that just manages symptoms, help that restores your self-agency, your ability to feel, to choose, to rest without guilt, to say no without panic. This is how you stop living like a puppet on strings you can't see. I'm going to say something that will polarize people, and that's okay because I like being controversial. The system didn't fail you or me. It trained you and me. It trained us to doubt our bodies, outsource our authority, perform wellness instead of embody it, and keep functioning at the cost of our inner lives. You can unlearn that. You can become someone who is successful and steady. Now, if this resonated, here's what I want you to know. You don't need more motivation. You need safety in your body and truth in your life. That's the work I do now, helping freedom-driven high achievers reclaim calm, clarity, and purpose without burning their lives down to get there. Now, if you stayed with me to the end, you're someone who's ready for real change, not quick fixes. Subscribe to this channel because it's all about dismantling the conditioning that kept you stuck and rebuilding inner order. And watch the next video, why rest doesn't work when your nervous system doesn't feel safe, because it'll connect the dots even deeper.